Hi, it's Tina from CNC Designs. Welcome. Let me see if I can get you guys set so you can see what's going on. How's everybody? As you come on in, please stop and say hi so that I can say hi back to you. I'm just gonna do some housekeeping and see if I can find us up on the page. Let me turn down the volume. Let me try and find us. Tonight, I'm excited. We're going to be making a Christmas gift for a friend of the family's. Hello, Miss Patterson. How are you, my friend? A little bit tired today. I worked a full day, recorded a class, taught it live, and now I'm on my second live. But, you know, hey, it's par for the course. Let me see if I can pull us up on the page and we can get started. Tonight's live is not going to be really long, but I definitely want to share this with you guys because today is day 6, I believe it is, in Magnolia's 12 Days of Christmas, and every single surface sold in my Magnolia shop is 50% off today. So I wanted to show you a project that I'm going to be making with one of the surfaces for a gift for someone and give you some insight and definitely talk to you about the fact that now is the time. If you've ever been wanting to buy any surfaces from Magnolia, today is the day to do it. Every single one is 50% off. You can't beat that. I just made sure I got in my order. This surface that we're going to be working on today is one of my absolute favorite surfaces. So I wanted to show you how versatile it is and how you can use it. Hello, Miss Mary Carter. How are you? Thank you for watching. Okay, I think I have comments up. And I think we're ready to get started. And keeping with our Christmas making, tonight we're going to be working with a Magnolia stencil. This is our Christmas trees. It says Farm Fresh, established in 1932. Pine, cedar, fir, and spruce. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is a big stencil. I just love it. Hi, Anna. How are you? Thank you for joining. Hello, Tina. How are you? And we're going to be working on one of my all-time favorite surfaces. If you've been in our group, I shared my friend James the other day live from Magnolia was working with this surface and did something just like this for someone that he was making it for. I am going to be giving it as a gift to a friend of our families. There's a gentleman in my children's grandmother's building who always looks out for her, always takes care of her. If she's not answering the phone and we think something's going on, he runs over, checks on her, makes sure everything is okay for us. So I just wanted to give him a little something to say thank you, and he can be able to use this for many Christmas holidays to come. This is our wood tray surface. It is 50% off in our shop. The real estate is tremendous. You cannot beat this. Buying one or paying for one today is getting two for the same price. So I would encourage you to look at our shop. And we also have a party going on. If you use our party link, you go into a raffle and get a chance to win more free things. So today is a good day to shop with Magnolia. So we're going to be working with this huge surface tray. It's all wood. You could put feet on the bottom. I may do something like that. I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna add some feet or if I'm just gonna leave it flat. It is for a male, so I don't want it to be too feminine. I want it to be a little masculine looking. And we're going to apply the stencil to it. We're gonna do a little dry brushing on it. We're gonna use some Tim Holtz ink to kind of distress our sides and edges and just have some fun for a little while. Hi, Lorianne, how are you? Hello, Kimberly, how are you? Hello, Miss Mays, how are you? See you again today. Give me 1 second. Let me just get our Tim Holtz inks so we can get started. Okay. I hope this is the right box. get our ink over here. Okay. So I love the grain of this wood. I don't want to hide all of it. Hello, Betty Sue. But I am going to do some dry brushing. We're going to use some white folk art Adirondack white chalk paint with this piece, and just to dry brush more heavily on our ends, lighter in the middle. We're going to apply our stencil. We're going to do some edging, and then we'll take a look and see where we stand at that point. It does come, this tray does have these rope handles on either end. I'm thinking of, initially I thought of taking these handles off and putting some hardware handles here, but I think I'm gonna leave these handles on the sides as they are and work with the piece in its entirety, which is something that you rarely get a chance to see me do. So I want you to see how pretty it can look just as it is. So how's everybody's day today? How's things going? I'm on my coffee cup number 3. I am wired today. I've been really busy today, and got to work tomorrow. Santa Claus is coming to town at the job, take pictures with the kids. So that should be a lot of fun. This is a extremely busy season for me where work is concerned. We are always busy at this time of year. So here's our Adirondack chalk paint. I'm just going to be dipping right in from here because I'm not going to be mixing colors, and I want to apply more of a dry brush. So I am going to be trying to take a lot of the paint off of the brush because I don't want to paint it, and I'm just going to be going along my ends first, and on these sides I probably will be going heavier than any place else on the tray. I know it's a little bit of a challenge for you to see me fully because of the spacing here, but I'll do my best to try and make sure I have in camera view. You purchased some archival ink. Is it in the blocks just like the oxidized pads? Let me see. Let me show you. Did it come like this, but it just says ink on instead of oxide? Oh my goodness, Miss Patterson, I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. We'll definitely have to keep your sister and your family in prayer. I'm so sorry. Hello, Sharon Frisbee, how are you? Again, we're just dry brushing here. I want to definitely get some good dry brushing on these edges. I got a little bit heavy-handed over here, so let me try to bring some of that paint out onto the board. Like I said, I want to keep some of that wood grain working. Well, the oxides, they are a little bit, the inks are definitely deeper than the oxides in terms of application when you apply them. You can use them both for the same purposes. Oxides, when you put water in them, they can blend and move more than with the inks. The inks are kind of more steady in terms of where you place it. It's pretty much there, and there's not a lot you can do with it. With oxides, you can use water, you can watercolor with them. The inks are a little bit more of a challenge to do things like that with. but you can work with both of them. It just depends on what it is you want to do. I happen to like the oxides better because I feel like I can do more with the oxides than I can with ink. I have, you know, been taking some classes here and there, trying to learn how to watercolor. So I like the fact that those oxides allow me to be able to do that. If it's the oxide bricks like the ink bricks like this, like I said, you can still use them if you're not going to be watercoloring or anything like that to them, or you know, you're going to be using them the way you've seen me use them, then you should be fine. You'll just definitely have a darker application with inks than you do with the oxides, using them the way that you've seen me use them so far. I'm just trying to, I don't want too much in one place. I may spritz this tray a little bit with some water just to try to see if I can move some of that paint. Because like I said, I did not want to paint the tray. That's not the intention here. And like here, for example, is definitely really concentrated with that white paint. I'm trying to dab off a lot more. Let me go back over here. I do want to make it heavier in these crevices just to give it some character, really, no other reason. Like I said, this is not going to be long tonight. Definitely have been doing a lot of live today. I still actually have to film something else that you'll probably see come out next week sometime. Let's see what happens if we put a little bit of water on here, if we can move some of this paint. It is moving. And what I'm also gonna do is take a wipe and see if I can wipe some of that back, because I don't like that big blotch right there. Uh-oh, gotta be careful with that coffee over there. I want to maintain the ability to see some of this pretty wood grain here. So I'm going to take my wipe and I'm just gonna go across and see if I can pull some of that paint back. Got a little heavy-handed there. And we're gonna try to see if we can get some heat dry on here. Okay. So there we go. Kind of like that. Let me see if we can get some heat on here. And then we can get a sense of how it really looks once it's dry. We'll do a little bit of sanding because it is wood. I do feel a little bit of graininess there. So I'm gonna sand it a little, see if we can get it a little smoother before we apply our stencil. I made a purchase from the Magnolia Design a few days ago. Yes, it does. Thank you. And thank you for making that purchase. Yes, I did see that come up on my phone. that Miss Mays made a purchase to our party. So guys, like I said, this Magnolia is doing their 12 days of Christmas. We're on day 6. Yesterday was all about craft club. That was your one opportunity. If you've ever seen me do a craft club that you liked, but you didn't necessarily want to subscribe to craft club, you could have purchased any of the ones that we have done over the last year as a one-time kit. And they had some of those stencils available as well. Every day throughout these 12 days, there'll be a different special. It is only open for those 24 hours, so pay attention to the specials, because if there's something that you've been wanting to get. A couple of days ago, we had stencils, buy one, get one, buy two, get one free. Yesterday, like I said, was Craft Club. Today is every single surface in my Magnolia shop is 50% off. And that, for me, is a crazy, crazy deal. I purchased probably about 4 more of these trays. I purchased a couple of other surfaces that I like, because you guys, if you watch me, you see I do a lot of crafting. I don't use a lot of Magnolia surfaces, because I have been able to find things that I thought were a little bit more cheaper. Although this is my business and I would like for you to buy from me, I'm just being honest, being real transparent. But there are some pieces in Magnolia's company, some surfaces that I just adore, and this is one of those. So I was excited to see them 50% off. I made sure I stocked up. Hi Norma, how are you? I've stocked up on quite a few of the surfaces today, and we'll be excited to get them, because as the year progresses in 2025, I'll have some surfaces at my disposal to be able to use. And this is one of those that I love, because you can use it as we're using it tonight as a tray. I don't know if you guys have seen my live where I did the Lord's Prayer, and I took these handles off, and we basically used this as a wall hanger. So it's very versatile in that respect. You can use this one surface many ways. You're not limited to one particular thing. I always tell you, your only limitation truly is your imagination. So definitely take a look in the shop, see what kinds of surfaces are there, because you might find something that you really, really love. This surface is awesome. And like I said, this is gonna be a tray that is like this. I am going to put some Krylon clear on it to try and make sure that our stencil doesn't disappear. I'm not gonna say that this is gonna be food safe. I would not encourage anybody to put food directly onto this tray and eat off of it. That's just me. Whether you got food safe, Mod Podge, or whatever they want to call it, I don't want to eat off of something that's been painted on. That's just me. But I am going to clear it to try and make sure that it lasts longer. Hello, Joanna. Hello, Susie. How are you? And so this is what we have so far with our dry brush, with our white Adirondack paint. And this is the back of the surface. So this is how the surface started. The surface is beautiful on its own. I'm just doing this because, like I said, I am giving this as a gift to a male. I wanted to give it a little bit more character, a little more depth, and paint just helps me accomplish that. So now we're gonna take our Distress Oxide black ink, and I'm gonna do something that you guys will rarely see me do, because I don't have my other black ink pad here. Otherwise, I'll be using that. But I'm gonna just take this oxide pad, and I'm gonna just go around my edges and give it some more color, some more interest. You guys know I don't typically do this with my Tim Holtz pads, because it creates those ridges, and I don't like those ridges in my ink pads. So rarely, if ever, will you see me do this with a Tim Holtz pad. Not that you can't, you can, but you know, I just like my pads to be in good condition. So usually I use some sort of like makeup applicator or something like that. But when you want it to stay on the edge this fine, honestly, the only thing that really does work is to apply it this way. So I'm liking the visual interest of that black. It's really popping off of this piece with that dry brushed white. So we're gonna let that settle for a sec. I'm gonna get my finger sander and I'm just gonna lightly go over it and try to smooth it out. So excuse the sound. Back and try and dry brush a little bit more white on, depending on how much it looks like we took off. Let me get my duster. Hello, Miss Fagan. Hi, Susie. Joanna, I think I said hello to you, but hello again. Okay, I'm gonna just get this wipe that we had and just give it a pass over really quick. Remove any dust. Now let's get a paper towel and wipe back again. Okay, so there's what we have. You can see on those edges how that black really makes it pop. I just love it. I'm hoping that our friend will love it too. As when we came on, I was saying my children's grandmother has a neighbor. The grandmother and the aunt has a neighbor that always looks out for them. He's a male. Whenever, you know, we call and we don't think grandma's answering the phone as quickly as she should, we'll call next door to him and ask him, can you go check over there and make sure grandma's okay? He always checks. When the aunt is bringing stuff upstairs, it's too heavy for her to carry, he carries the packages. He takes the packages in his house when she's over here spending the night. So he's been really good to us, and this is just my way of saying to him, thank you so much for everything that you do for myself and my children, so that we can have a peace of mind when we're not around grandma and the aunt. We really appreciate him doing that for us. So I'm going to create this tray. We're going to probably give him, I don't know, some cookies or something that goes with it, and then he can use it as a tray in his home, as a decor piece. He can sit some flowers on it, whatever, his remotes, keys, whatever he wants to put on it, or he can use it as a lap tray. So that's my hope for this piece today. So what do you guys think? Who's been looking at the Magnolia sales? Has anybody been checking out the sales at Magnolia Design Company? We have, this is like, I wait for this time of year, and I'm a rep, and I've told you, when you're a Magnolia rep, you automatically get a discount. But when you're a rep and they run a sale, you get a discount on top of your discounts. So that's why I tell you guys, whether you are looking to start your own business or you're just an avid crafter and you love the product, you love buying the supplies, you might want to consider being a creator, because today is one of those days when you can get a tremendous discount. So, you know, as a creator, for me, I certainly take full advantage of sales like this, because I sell a lot of the stuff that I make. So this is an opportunity for me to be able to create, do what I love, and definitely make some of my money back. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of hints of some gold in there, give it a little bit of some rub and buff accents, not too much. But again, just trying to create a little bit more character. It is, again, for a male, so I'm not trying to do too much on the piece. Certainly, we're not going to be going with any ribbons and bows. I mean, once we wrap it up with some cellophane and maybe put some cookies or something on it, we'll put some a ribbon or something around that. But I'm not going to be doing any floral embellishments or anything like that, because it's for a male. And we wanted to have a kind of masculine feel and vibe. So we're gonna add just a little bit splattering of some Rub and Buff Gold in there. Nothing too intense. And if you don't like that, you can always just go back in with your white paint, dry brush a little bit more over that. No harm, no foul. Hoping they're gonna have the paste and ink on sale. I think they may. I can't remember if I've seen the paste and inks on sale. I know that I have purchased, I don't know if it was 12 days though, but I know I've purchased like the sample packs of 10 and 12 and stuff like that. I know I purchased those on sale, but I can't say if it was in 12 days, to be honest. What did I do with the white paint? Did anybody see it? Oh, here it is. Hi, Carol. How are you? Hello, Esther. How are you? Thank you for watching. I'm just going to dip back in a little bit more on my brush. I'm going to try to take a lot of it off. I don't want to be too heavy, but I do want to come back in right in here and add a little bit more of that white Adirondack. Dry brushing is something that I like, but you gotta be careful because sometimes, you know, it's dry brush. So where you first put the paintbrush down, you'll probably have more paint than you will as you move it along. So it's definitely one of those techniques that's not a sure thing. You just got to play with it until you get to a place where visually you have something that you like. So here we are. Kids' presents looking slimmer and slimmer. Hi, Jen. How are you? I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Let me tell you, my kids have been clowning me, guys. Let me tell y'all, I have in my living room a 43-inch TV. 43 inches is perfectly fine for me. My children felt like my TV was too small. My surround sound was tacky because it's old and it's got cords to it, and nobody has surround sounds like this. Everybody's surround sound has USB, or you could play it with whatever you call it, wireless. I was like, I don't need a new TV. They got my brother in on it. They called my brother, and my brother, they showing him. They're like, Uncle, we go to your house and we hear this wonderful sound. We don't even know where the sound is coming from. Look where our sound is coming from. And they're showing him on camera on my cords, and he's laughing. And he's like, yeah, it's probably time for you to get rid of that. Long story short, fast forward, and coming home from work the other day, I said, well, let me go look at the TVs. So I stop on my way home and I go to PC Richards. Came out of PC Richards, $1,300 later, new TV, thanks to my kids. So now I'm like, okay, well, you know what? This year, nobody's getting a gift. We got a household gift. Like, that wasn't part of the plan. We didn't say that. So I know what you mean when you talk about those gifts being slimmer and slimmer to you. I said, but you guys wanted a TV. What are you talking about? There's no babies here. I'm like, oh no, we have to have something under the tree. Thank you so much, Jen. And thank you for sharing me out. I hope you're feeling better. Hello, Ron Goodman. How are you? So I'm just fuzzing our stencil, guys. And like I said, this is for his grandmother's neighbor, he has been so good to them, so kind to us. And I just want to create something for him that says, thank you for your kindness. And hopefully this will be worthy enough for him to want to actually put on in his home on display. First time I'm ever making something specifically for a male. So I'm really trying to make sure that I don't put too much frill on this. I want him to see this and this not be something that he takes and throws on the couch somewhere because it's too feminine for his taste. Which is why I chose these Christmas trees, because they're like the spruce or cedar type trees, not too you know, flowy, if you will. I'm just taking my squeegee and just kind of putting my stencil down and making sure I have no air bubbles there. And hi, sweetie. That's my daughter, guys. So now we're going in straight in with just plain black paste. I'm not gonna be doing, again, nothing too extra, too intense. I know I probably have some more black paste around here somewhere. Should look for that, but we'll make it do. I'm just gonna try and apply my paste onto our stencil. Get this all covered nicely. And one thing about our chalk paste with our stencils, and it's a stencil this big, you don't want your paste to begin to dry in your stencil as you're applying. So you may see me go in and lift my stencil up a little just so that the paste is not drying inside of my stencil. So like when I finish over here on this end, I'll probably give it a lift once I've gotten this area covered, because we got a lot more real estate down on this end to cover. And you gotta resist the temptation to go over and over the same spots, because that's just gonna push ink under your stencil and into your screen. These are silk screen reusable stencils, so you don't need to apply a lot of pressure to get a nice application. My paste is a little thick, probably because I'm down at the bottom of the tub at this point. So now we've got that piece covered. I am gonna just give it a little lift. As I'm lifting, I'm able to peek and see where I might need to lay a little bit more, just to be on the safe side. Oh, it's gonna be gorgeous. It always is. Magnolia never fails me. Oh my, guys, look, so far you can see this is going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, this paste is definitely, I have gotten my money's worth from you. Okay. Oh, this is already drying. Oh, y'all. I'm trying to get it to spread out a little bit more. I gotta work faster. Stop talking so much. Paste dries definitely faster than your ink, so you want to work a little bit faster. just to make sure that, again, I don't get my paste drying off into my stencil. I do have another one of these stencils, but I don't want this to dry in here. Okay, I'm just lifting and applying as we go. Yeah, I am literally down to the bottom. I didn't realize I was that low. Else I definitely probably would have brought a new tub to the table with me. I'm literally scraping here at the bottom. Okay, we're almost there, almost there. A little bit more to go. Okay, now let's see what we got. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Lisa. Oh my goodness, I love it. Let me just put a little bit in there. See what happens. A little bit more here. Oh my goodness, how beautiful is that? Now, let me just get some water down on my tin so I can start this releasing. Start the paste to releasing from my stencil. You want to put it face down like this, and then I'm just going to add some water here, because then that will start that paste to reactivating and releasing from the stencil, so that when I get to my sink, it can wash out really easily. So I'm going to saturate this pretty good, because we did use a lot of ink on that stencil. And it was a little thick because I was down at the very bottom of the tub. So just a sec and I will give you a really good look at what we've got here. And I can't believe I'm like at no paper towels. Let's use. Thank you so much, Miss Patterson. It is gorgeous. It is really, this is a beautiful stencil. So let me wipe that off. Let me just try and get this squeegee cleaned off a little bit here. Okay, put that over there. And I think we're about ready to say bye-bye to that. Let me hold it up and let you get a look. Then we're gonna dry. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my goodness. If that doesn't make you smile, something's wrong with you. It is beautiful. I love it. Wow. I think I should make one of these for myself. And I really, really like this black and white dry brush. I was thinking of doing it in blue and white because y'all know blue is the color this year, blue and white for Christmas in this household. And I wanted to see what it looked like, but I said no, this is not for us, it's for Billy. So let me do some white and black, which is kind of neutral on this wood for a man's house. And this hopefully will blend in and not clash with his decor. I've never been inside his house, so I don't know. So I figured this was a safer choice than choosing a color like blue or a red and white or something like that. Thank you so much, Miss Patterson. Yeah, this stencil is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I was even thinking of possibly doing some white splatters, but I don't know. I just like this just like this, just simple enough, just like this. And again, because I said it's for a male, I don't think I'm gonna mess with it. I think I'm gonna leave it. But you could, if you were making this for yourself, like all these little areas here are meant to be like snow caps, so you could add white in here, make it look like it's snow on there. You could add white on the top of this sea. There's a lot of things that you can do with it. Oh, thank you. You know, to make this even more embellished. But, you know, sometimes less really is more. Y'all won't hear me say that a lot. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Thank you for watching. So, like I said, this surface is amazing. It's unique. It just allows you to be able to be so creative, especially with the large stencils. You can take some of our pattern stencils and just do an all over pattern, put some feet on it, drop it on your table. You've got a really nice decor piece that you can set some candles on top of. You can, you know, put a decor piece on top. This is a place where you can put a candle there. You can put your remote control there, you know, as you're sitting there watching your Christmas movies, you know, snuggled up on your couch. Like I said, I am going to definitely apply some clear Krylon clear spray on here, sealer, and then I may even go back after I put the spray sealer on and then go over it with some Liquitex just to give it a double seal to make sure that that paste stays put and it doesn't go anywhere in case, you know, somebody sits a glass there, or, you know, some water splatters or something from your drink on it, because this is chalk paste and it will kind of reactivate, and we don't want that. So I'm going to seal it to make sure that that paste stays in place. You could avoid that and just use ink. We do have inks. You could have used some Magnolia ink, and the ink is permanent. Chalk paste is not meant to be permanent, so that's why it will probably react depending on what it is that reactivate, depending on what it is you're using it for. So I know we've got a nice good dry here now. I am just blown away by this. This is far exceeded anything that I could have imagined that it was gonna look like. And like I said, I saw my friend James, who's also another Magnolia creator, do a piece like this the other day on the Magnolia website, and watching him, I knew it was beautiful, but seeing it up close is just, oh my goodness, it is magnificent. This is gorgeous. Makes me definitely want to make another. I don't have any more of this surface though, but that's okay because today is the 50% off, and I definitely ordered some more, so I'll have some more soon. I just don't have any more in the house right now. Just hitting those edges again, a little bit more with that ink just to give it some more. I think We have these bottom edges here. And I think I'm just gonna go across there as well. Hello, Miss King, how are you? Thank you for watching. Hello, Melissa, thank you for watching. Let me move this over. Guys, forgive me, I don't have a lot of space to work here. So, let's see. Where else do we want to apply some ink? You know, these things may not seem like a big deal until you see them. And then you're like, yeah, this definitely was needed. I didn't think it would be. Didn't think I would see the difference. But once you apply it, you see the difference, and then you'll understand why. I'm always saying, make sure you do your edges, because it really does make a big difference. Let's put some here, and I'll show you how that ink just really brings this all together. And I'm just doing it on the edges. I'm leaving that wood in the middle alone. I'm just hitting these high edge points here and adding some ink there. I'm hoping that I can show this to you in the camera and you can see what I mean. On the top there, and then we have some on the bottom. So, and that's going all around the tray. On the top and the bottom, we've applied that. Oh yeah, you can definitely put resin on top of it. Like I was saying before, I love resin. I don't use it because the one time I tried it, it is so toxic. The smell I could not tolerate. And I was doing it outside. I knew not to do it in my house, because I had already been forewarned of the smell and, you know, the toxicity of it. But I personally can't do it, you know, and there are a lot of creators out there that do it. You know, the only thing I would tell anyone is, if you're going to use some resin, make sure you got on some gloves, make sure you put a mask on. And I can tell you that the COVID mask is not the kind of mask that I'm talking about, because I had on one of those when I was pouring it outside, trying to do it with some of my IOD molds, and the smell was so intense, even with those masks on, that I was just like, yeah, no, this is not worth it to me, because I don't know what this is going to do in the long run. But some resin over it would absolutely be gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. But I'm not going to go that route. So I'm going to spray seal mine, and then I'm going to use some Liquitex on top of that. And this is my Liquitex that I typically use. I use the matte medium. So I'm going to spray it first, and then I'm going to brush my Liquitex on. It'll give it a little bit of a gloss, but not too much. I really don't want it to be too glossy anyway, because I just love this natural state of the wood. It just really looks very masculine. I just love it. That sea is out of this world. It is so beautiful. Oh my goodness, I love this. I'm almost tempted not to give it away. It's gorgeous. What do you guys think? Show me some hearts if you like it. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm hoping that my kid's neighbor is going to love it too. So, remember, every single surface tonight in my Magnolia shop is 50% off. I'm not telling you have to shop, but I'm telling you have to go look, because you don't know what you need until you see it. If you're anything like me. So go over there. Make sure you look at those surfaces. This is definitely one that you're going to see. And pick up as many as you want. We are having a party, so every purchase made will be applied to those party sales. Once the party, as the party progresses and reaches certain levels in sales, the higher the opportunity there is for people to win more product of higher values. So definitely make that purchase. We are in the 12 days of Christmas sales. Today is day 6, 50% off surface sale. Make sure you look today. Make sure you come back for the next 6 days, because there will be some more amazing deals coming up, and I don't want you guys to miss out. I will be posting each day's deal on our main page, as well as in our group page. I will try to keep you updated on everything that's on sale. I will definitely try to steer you towards the items that I feel are of particularly high value, which is one of the reasons why I came on and did this tonight, because I truly believe this is one of the today's special is some of the best buys you can get in Magnolia. That buy one surface, get one free is amazing. You don't want to miss it. So I mean, it's not buy one get one free. They're 50% off, but it's like, you know, getting one free, honestly. So make sure you do that. Make sure you check that out. Secondary to that, the class that I mentioned that I asked you guys if you were interested in joining. I'm trying to take the bow off my tree so you can see it. The ornament, rather. Okay. This class has been filmed. The class is open. If anybody is interested in learning how to make that, you want to join that class. This is a paid class. Look on the page, see how much it costs to join the class, contact me, and then you can be let into the room so that you can learn the technique that was used and all of the work that goes into creating something like this. Part 1 was done today. Part 2 will be filmed live on Sunday. We'll be doing the second part of the class. It's not too late for you to get in the class. You can join at any point in time. Once you're in the room, you'll be able to view the class as many times as you want to view it, and it will be up and always open to those who have paid for the class. And in addition to those who I have gifted the class to, I've had some really good, loyal, supportive friends along this journey, and some of them I have gifted that class to, so I want you to make sure you take advantage of that. Ms. Patterson, I did send you a friend request. Please respond to my friend request so I can get you into that room so that you can see that class. And let me see what else we got going on. I will be back live on Monday night. And also, if you look at our Magnolia corporate page, one day next week, I will be featured on the corporate page creating some of the Magnolia products during our 12 days of Christmas. In our clubhouse, on our group page, which I call the clubhouse, just this week, you'll see my contribution. I did one of the craft clubs, which was one of my favorite craft clubs, which was it's the most wonderful time of the year. I did post a video in our clubhouse, and we will keep right on making stuff, probably Christmas things, until at least the end of next week, and then we're going to transition into a few winter crafts, and then we'll be going on into, for me, the next opportunity for me to be creating will be for Valentine's Day, but that will probably start happening in January. So I hope you enjoyed what we've done tonight. I hope you come back and see what we've got coming up next. Definitely go check out. Oh yeah, definitely. If you take the ornament class, you sell one ornament, you're gonna get your money back. I hope you come and check out the shop, get you some surfaces, and let's get to crafting. Okay? You guys take care. I love you guys. Thank you so much for always sticking with me. Have a good night. Be blessed. Have a great weekend. Stay well. Stay warm. Be good to each other. Oh, I almost forgot. Let me give you some hearts. From my heart to yours. Take care, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.